Welcome back to Box of Lights. In this video series I'm going to be demonstrating for you the new 3rd edition of Dawn of the Zeds. The version I'm showing you is prototype. This is currently in Kickstarter while I film this, published by Victory Point Games. In particular, the board here is going to be a mounted board. I've just got a thick card at the moment. And we're going to dive straight into the action with the Director's Cut version of the game. There's lots of different levels for the game. The player aid here shows you we've got the basic game and then through levels 1 to 5, and then there's a versus mode as well. Now, one of the things you'll see about this game is not only is this a solitaire game as in previous incarnations, but it's also co-op and PvP. I'm going to play this solo game for you today. The board's going to be double-sided. This is side B with the catacombs on it. In the basic game you'll be playing with side A. We don't have these extra Zeds coming up from underground, and we have this track board separate because the space where it is on the board is taken up by the catacombs. The objective of the game here, like the other states of Siege, is to make your way through a timed deck where these Zeds, these zombies, are coming in on these different tracks. A Zed arrives in town centre and we lose. There are some anti-heroes here for when you're playing the versus game. So we'll leave those for now. Let's set our starting supplies. So we roll 2d6. We've got a 1 and a 6, which is a 7, so our supplies start at 7. We'll take the lowest die, which is a 1, and our ammo starts at 6 minus 1. Now we're going to set up some decks. Our fate deck first, because we're playing on the Director's Cut. We're using all the cards from all the colours, so they're colour coded from the basic game through to level 2, level 3, all the way up to level 5. Alright, so we just give those a shuffle. And now the event deck, and this time this is a huge thick deck. We've got to separate these into acts. This becomes the story and the timer for the game. Again, these are colour coded depending on which level of the game you're playing, but you're looking for the acts, a number of stars: 1, 2, 3 and 4, and then the special events with the exclamation marks, and then the ends. We start by taking one random end card, give them a shuffle. The rest go back in the box. We want then the 4 stars, so we take the special ones first. We're going to take 2 of these, and then we take the 4-star standard. There's 9 of them. We're going to select 3 of these at random. So 1, 2, 3. Shuffle those. These go back to the box. Shuffle these together. They go on top. Take the level 3 specials now. We only want 3 of these. 6 at the standard. That should give us 9. Shuffle these together. See, we're doing good. And then for the 2 stars, we want 3 of these. And 6 at the standard. 5, 6. Put these together now. Finally, for the 1 stars, we just want 3 of these at random. 1, 2, 3. Finally, we count 9 up from the bottom. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 10th card is the National Guard arriving. Assuming we get that far, which is very unlikely. That's our timer. And we'll quickly set up our research deck. We'll leave this one aside for the moment. The CDC Commission we have early and late, and of the late we want the special ones. We're going to use all these are the ones with the exclamation mark, but we only want 2 standard ones, so we'll give those a shuffle. We'll add 2 to this deck, give that a shuffle. For the early we just want 4, let's give them a shuffle, place those on top. We'll put these to one side, actually the lates go back to the box, the earlies we might need them. And then the CDC Commission becomes our current research. Now let's start placing some units. We got civilian units. We're going to take 5 of these and place them in each of our starting villages at random. Make sure they're showing their full strength side. Face up, then we'll place one more in the town centre. Face up. Okay, and this one may come into play later. Each of our civilian units starts the game defiant. They can't move. Once they get attacked by a zombie, then that gets removed and then you can move them. Now we want some villagers, our defiant villagers in each village. Next we want some security guards. There's a 3 and a 4, so randomly, 1 in the basement and 1 in the security guard post. Now let's get this thing going, let's get some Zeds on the board. These are our regular Zeds, there's going to be 1 on each of these starting tracks, one of these different routes. So we've got suburbs gets a 3, remember, full strength side up. That's alright, I'm happy with that. Forest track we get a 4, that's okay. Mountain track 5. Yeah, we're doing alright. None of the nasty big ones. 5 is not good though. And then we get a 7, okay. There's the nasty. Okay. We should have selected our heroes already, so let's do that now. We'll put the fate deck up here, and the event deck, and the research. Alright, so these are all the heroes we've got. Because we're playing solitaire, we're going to choose one hero, but the rest are going to be randomly chosen, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Alright, so 16 to choose from. Let's see, we get Wilson the Hermit, Boxever, Pickles the dog, and now we can choose one of our own. So we'll, why don't we use Sheriff Hunt? Why not? That's probably the guy that most of you are going to be playing with when you start the game. So these are our random players. This is our active player. Alright, now if you're playing co-op, you can each take and choose your own hero. So the random ones are 4 minus the number of players. Okay, but as a group you will still control all the heroes, whether you pick them or not. Okay, so it really is a pure co-op. We get player action. We need their unit tokens here. And the rest can go away. And then we've got some special markers, first aid and medical and leadership. Our heroes start in town centre. Let's put those 2 scavengers up there. Doc Seaver gets his 2 tokens. Sheriff Hunt gets his leadership. The helpful thing is on the back, it shows you which tokens each one brings into the game. Actually, I think I'm going to choose one of the others. Let's choose someone a little bit higher up the game. We have science. This military guy, or let's use a Alyssa Darling. Yeah, she looks quite cool. She gets the Zen token. She's like this assassin. And we need a civilian, heroic civilian, which you pick randomly. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to choose from. Let's just pick the top one then. WZED Farmingdale, the radio station. Okay. He brings in the emergency broadcast token. He's got a nice special ability that's used with the mayor, but never mind. We'll place the WZED in town centre. There's a couple of other areas on the map. We've got the cemetery over here. Yep, that can happen. And in a refugee camp, we're going to put the equipped refugees token up here. And we're ready to begin with the first event card. This is going to be brutal. Okay, first one is a stocked barn discovered. Okay, let's proceed from left to right. First tab is the Raiders, Rangers, Refugees and Rescuers phase. If any of those are on the board, they'd be moving now, but don't have any. Next is the infection phase. First thing we do is check if there's any disease spreaders. These are these guys, they're not on the board yet. So instead, we make a roll. Sometimes this says no, so we're going to make a roll and compare it to our current infection level. Now our current infection level is 0. We make a roll, 2d6. If it's higher, then the infection level doesn't go up. If it's lower, then it does. So we can't get lower than a 0. We're not doing anything for this infection. A low infection level is good. We've just started the game, so that's where it begins. It can go up when we do things like zombies attack us, or we attack them. Okay, next is the eat phase. This will tell you how many resources are lost. Food, water, clothing, that kind of stuff. It says to roll a die. Sometimes it's a 1, sometimes it's a 2, sometimes it's 0. We just ignore the phase. If it's a die, then we have to look and see how many people we have in hospital beds. So this is kind of like keeping those people healthy. Of course, we don't have anyone there yet. If we roll a die and the number's higher, then we do nothing. Okay, so in this eat phase, we do nothing. Alright, now we get to the first step, the Zeds move. And we've got symbols for each track that's going to move. So everything on the mountain, forest and suburbs track is moving. So mountains, forest, suburbs. Now we got the actions phase, and we get 3 additional player actions, it says. Number 3. We'll put this track up to 3. And it also says there's some supplies in the farm. We use the goodies marker to remind us. Farm's up here. Goodies marker. We might want to think about sending someone up there to get it. I'm not sure where we want to be just yet. But let's move Wilson and Pickles up to the farm. I feel like they should be there. So that's 2 actions. And Wilson has moved 4. Pickles moved 6. Farm's on spot number 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Pickles is going to come up alongside him. I want to keep these 2 together because of the lucky charm. So Pickles is acting as Wilson's lucky charm right now. Shortcuts. So we're on number 3. So I'm thinking about putting another player on number 3 so that Wilson can shortcut and then that player can shortcut with them. But then we've got Premonition. While in play, the top card of the Fate Draw pile can be inspected at any time. So as it goes, I'm just going to keep that face up. Next one up is Cooked Books. So we could potentially lose some supplies. Yeah, I don't like that. Next up, I'm going to use the radio ability, my Heroic Civilians Emergency Broadcast. We turn this over and it says we can give any overground regular civilians or refugees a free action. Now remember, defiant villagers can't move, so it's only this one in town centre, and these are going to move. Well, they've got a movement of 2 if you refer to the reference card. All civilians have a movement of 2. Let's move them up here, east side up to the trail, number 1. Because then I'm going to use my final action from here to move Alyssa down to the nuclear plant. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's put her here. Because then I'm going to use my player action to build a barricade. This costs 2 supplies. 1, 2. Leave the toast marker. And each track can only have 1 barricade. And what this does is improves your attack and defensive ability against those Zeds. What you see is these arrows. See, there's 1 arrow to the right and then now an additional 2. When we do hand-to-hand combats, we are looking in this column, and the stronger we are, the further to the right we are. So if we were in this column, I'll show you hand-to-hand combat next time, then with those barricades we move an additional 2 to the right, plus 1 for the location. Do you see? So we could get all the way up here if we were equal at hand-to-hand skill with the Zeds. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so we're in the best column. Okay. There was a temptation to move Doc Seaver into the lab. If you've got a scientist there, then you can do research. But again, we'll leave that till next time. We end this phase. It says, if a player unit's in the farm, increase our supplies by a die roll. We are there, so we take the goodies and roll a die. See what we get. Hope for something good. 3. Not too bad. A little on the lower side. 1, 2, 3. That ends the first turn. That's it for now. We're a third of the way through the first act. See you next time.